There's a world beneath our feet that most people will never see. Deep underground military bases, hidden tunnels, and entire networks are designed to operate beyond public knowledge. These are not speculative theories, and let's remember, the term conspiracy theory was weaponized by the CIA in 1967, I've done a short, through the document 1035-960 to discredit anyone questioning the official narrative. This started around JFK's assassination. If you ask questions because it didn't add up, you're a conspiracy theorist or a tinfoil hat. When they can't refute the truth, they label it a theory to keep people asleep. And to make people think they're crazy, they love to use the words crazy. The infrastructure for these tunnels exists. The funding trails are all documented, and the historical operations that led to their creation are undeniable. We have, thank God for FOIAs, most of these are declassified now that we know of. To understand why these underground facilities exist, we have to go back to World War II. That is really the catalyst for everything that we know of today. The classified programs that rewrote the trajectory of power, control, and covert warfare. After the war, Operation Paperclip brought over 1,600 Nazi scientists into the U.S. military, aerospace, and intelligence sectors of the U.S. government. There was actually a problem when they were executing the Nazis, because some of them were like, we're doing the exact same thing. I feel like we shouldn't. It was a big project or a big deal. That's also in the CIA documents. I highly recommend checking out Annie Jacobson. She has written at least 2 or 3 really great books. In her book, Operation Paperclip, she states these men were not just rocket engineers and physicists. Many of them were deeply involved in human experimentation and psychological warfare, including the methods that would be later used in MKUltra. Wormhole is the 50s. I mean, the war ended, 47 or 52? They brought them right over and started out. This is where the real infrastructure of control was solidified. Some of these scientists worked on advanced weapons technology, but I want to say many of them were embedded in biological warfare, psychological operations, and mind control experiments. These are the foundations of MKUltra. John Marks states in The Search for the Manchurian Candidate, MKUltra was not about truth serums or espionage tactics alone, but it was about controlling the entire thought process of an individual. This is what I think they did to BK. These experiments weren't just conducted in university labs or in isolated facilities. Many of them were carried out in deep underground bases beyond the reach of public scrutiny, and on 80 college campuses, including the University of Idaho. This video is part of my deep dive into the New World Order, MKUltra, classified government operations, satanic rituals in Hollywood, and the hidden infrastructures of control. Because what's buried isn't just physical, it's psychological, and it's been shaping the reality of people for decades. The United States alone has 131 active deep underground military bases. These are known as DUMBS. Nice play on words. Worldwide, that number expands to 1,477. These facilities house classified technology, biological research labs, experimental aircrafts, and advanced weapons systems, including cytronic warfare tools designed for mass influence and population control. Put a pin in that, because we're going to come back to that. That's one of the easiest ways to know that's happening is the hertz of our music is off by like 2 or 3 decibels, and it lowers your vibration. That's coming later. In the Underground Bases and Tunnels book, Dr. Richard Sauter wrote, "The sheer size and complexity of these underground structures suggests that entire civilizations could function below the surface without ever coming into public view." The U.S. government directs 28% of its national product towards the construction and maintenance of these underground facilities. Well, we know that
it is not ignorance that makes you a conspiracy nut. It's knowledge.
Utah, there's a DUMBS there, Deep Underground Military Base, that's very much involved with this issue. And there are assets there, man-made, anti-gravity, very advanced aircraft. That we, I have people who have been there who've seen them come up at night and move out. They'd be huge black triangles. And those are ours, by the way. Now, there are some extraterrestrial ones that are similar. So if you can envision this, almost any airfoil or superstructure that they've observed that's of an extraterrestrial origin, they've been able to create, let's say, copycat or similar. So this makes this very confusing and unfortunately opens up the possibility of a number of false flag, or what Pentagon called deceptive indications and warnings operations, or false flag operations.
I said it once and I'll say it again. What the fuck is in them woods? Y'all look at this map. Holy shit. Top is missing people. Bottom is the underground cave system. What the actual fuck? If you're connected, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you say. I need y'all to really, really look at this area, okay? Too close. That's entirely too close. The gag for me, though, is that even though California doesn't have that many underground cave systems mapped, at least, look at all the missing people that still match up. We don't know the official number, but as of right now, David Paulides is up to like 1,600 people missing in national parks. And I really think this has something to do with it now. Look at this matchup right here, though. And holy shit, look at that. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that this is not connected to the missing 1,600 people. Back at it with what the fuck is in them woods.
Our infrastructure, I could use New Hampshire, for example. Last time I checked, it's been a few years, was the second to last in the nation for infrastructure. And here's 28% of our national debt. Each base operates under black budget programs, bypassing congressional oversight and traditional accounting structures. I'm just going to throw out the day before September 11th when they lost $17 trillion. That got swept under the rug. These are not guesses. This is all these numbers track. Trillions of dollars have gone missing, funneled into projects that the public will never see. I think Trump is actually working on eliminating this federal tax right now, actually. One of the most heavily documented of these areas, and you've heard of it, is Area 51. Some of them you might not have heard of are S4 and S2. We only know about those because there's a whistleblower. I think he's actually died now, but there's another whistleblower who was part of the classified research zone for experimental aircraft and high-energy weapons technology. Back to our girl Annie Jacobson. In the book Area 51, An Uncensored History, she stated, witnesses spoke of underground laboratories where scientists worked on technology that defied conventional physics. High-speed magno-levitation railway systems connect many of these bases, allowing for secure, rapid transport beneath the surface. Declassified documents confirm that the existence of black budget aircraft, including anti-gravity vehicles and high-energy propulsion systems, are also already here. David Wilcock wrote The Source Field Investigates. In his book, The Source Field Investigations, the U.S. military has had anti-gravity capabilities since at least the 1950s, hidden under the guise of experimental aircraft projects. This is not speculation. This technology exists. It has been deliberately suppressed from public knowledge. And whenever whistleblowers come out, they either fall down a flight of stairs, have a random heart attack, or they're put into a mental asylum. Operation Northwoods is a declassified U.S. military document that proves the false flag operations are actively planned, and it clearly states an aircraft could be painted and numbered as an exact duplicate of a civilian registered aircraft. The duplicate would be substituted for the actual aircraft and then deliberately shot down. That's just mean. Ancient cultures already understood that hidden underground civilizations existed long before these modern bases were built. Graham Hancock wrote in the book America Before, the repeated theme of hidden realms beneath the earth suggests that such civilizations may have existed and may still be accessible through these underground networks. I call those portals. This is the key to understanding the continuity of control systems. It has always been underground, in the dark. It operates in the dark. DIA, for example, Denver International, is one of the most heavily coded locations in the United States. I'm going to go easy on the Freemason stuff. I think the Freemasons did kind of get a bad rap. We'll go into that when we get to the New World Order. DIA features a Freemason dedication stone, murals depicting apocalyptic imagery, and a blue Mustang known as Blucifer. Because they aren't creative, they have to steal everything. That blue horse also had red eyes. It looked like a demon. And it fell on its creator before it was completed, which I thought was hilarious. Only now. I was there when they were building this. It wasn't funny then. They didn't even talk about it, actually. This isn't a coincidence. The New World Order. That is what all of the little puzzle pieces we're putting together are going to get us to. The New World Order. We actually do want a New World Order. We just don't want this dark side stuff. The New World Order Airport Commission is inscribed on a Freemason time capsule at DIA. But there's no record of this commission, at least in the public. Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado houses one of the most secure underground military command centers in the world. It was originally built to withstand nuclear war because the elites don't make any money when we're just at peace, loving each other. Like, I don't care if you're left or right or black or white. You're just a person. They created those divisions so they could control us. If we're fighting about stupid stuff, then we're not in harmony. Divided house cannot stand. David Pollids in Missing 411. This is actually a great TV series, too. I'd highly recommend it. He's mapped over 1,600 disappearances in U.S. national parks. One of the shorts I put in here, she explains it, except it was getting copyrighted for everything. And so I'm explaining what she's telling you. His findings directly align with the underground cave systems. We can call it cave systems, whatever. It's a tunnel. The data tracks. Los Angeles has had a long history of underground networks. And in the 1912s, like 1913-ish, they were printing stories about the reptilians that lived underneath the city. Los Angeles's long history of underground networks was, and I'm putting this in quotes, originally built for streetcar transit. Right. But was later converted into smuggling routes, escape passages, and restricted access corridors. Think of Prohibition. By the 1920s, an underground labyrinth of over 11 miles long was fully operational. The Getty Museum in Los Angeles. Funny, it just burned in the LA fires because it's part of the New World Order. And I will show you that later. And I'll put all of the sources in the notes for this. The Getty Museum in Los Angeles contains a direct underground access point leading to elite gatherings. Might have heard of Bohemian Grove. Highly classified research labs and deeper levels of restricted access facilities. Las Vegas has over 600 miles of underground tunnels. in quotes, originally built for flood control. Today, thousands of people live beneath the city in complete obscurity. From classified underground bases to hidden underground cities, the true scale of what is beneath the surface is far beyond mainstream disclosure. The deeper you dig, the more undeniable it becomes. This isn't a theory. There are financial records, historical documents, and infrastructure maps that all confirm the same story. And we are just literally at the tip of the iceberg. These underground networks aren't just about classified military projects. They are about elite power structures, secret experiments, and psychological warfare, psychological operations on scales that redefine everything we think we know. Through this project, the main goal is to explain the New World Order, but we're putting all the pieces together. This video right now is just a small part of the MKUltra video that I was working on. From MKUltra and mind control experiments to the CIA's infiltration of Hollywood and satanic rituals, media narratives, we're watching it fall apart. Meghan Markle, for me, was the first one that I really saw it, but Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are another great example. What's buried beneath the ground isn't just physical, it's also psychological, and it affects us all. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Please like, share, subscribe, because this is a small part of a bigger project, and I'm so excited to explain it all. Love ya.
It is not ignorance that makes you a conspiracy nut. It's knowledge.